Very good morning to everyone that's joined us here today. Thank you for taking the time out of your day to join us for our introduction to Data Courage webcast. Today, we're joined by Camille and the team at Data Courage, who'll be walking you through their AI intelligence apps for elite parks and elite marinas. If you do have any questions throughout today's webcast, you can use the Q&A function at the top of your Teams meeting. But we do have a lot to get through today, so I'm going to hand you straight off to Camille, who's going to walk you through Data Courage. Over to you, Camille.
Hello, hi. Nice to see everyone. My name is Kamil Karbowiak. I'm the managing director at Data Courage, and today I want to show you how we can expand on with AI the Elite Dynamics solution, and we seamlessly integrate into their Business Central implementations. So with that, we've got an agenda in front of us. So I'll show you a little bit about us, what we do in the bigger picture. Then we're going to have a demonstration of the different features and going through the three apps that we have today: customers, finance, and item intelligence. Tell you about the features and benefits, and of course, we're going to give you the opportunity to ask question and answers in the end. Yeah. All right. Let me just go to straight into our presentation. We're going to start with a couple of slides just to explain the whole idea. So as Data Courage, we've been in business for over 16 years. 650 plus customers in 30 countries. We have an AI practice that is already ongoing for 7+ years, and we're servicing our customers through partnerships with companies such as Elite Parks. So what do? We do advanced reporting. We also have those AI apps for Business Central. We're doing process automations, budgeting, demand forecasting, and planning. Data visualization, and we also expand on the Microsoft Fabric. Few of the generative AI as it hit us from various angles, from the chat GPT, known to pretty much everyone nowadays. The whole concept of it is to help us summarize and question our data or the data from external sources. And be able to get to the results quickly. And these examples can be from anything as simple as a search on the web, or something more intelligent, as in trying to join the different things together, certain subjects, and so on. Now, when it comes to data-driven decision making, there's another concept of it, which the generative AI is not the first place to go to, but we did this. We made it so that the reasoning behind data is done in a very nice concept. Now we have the personalization. So we've got some tailored interactions with individualized information, and that's part of, for example, one of the use case that Elite has, for example, is the personalization of the offers using AI, for example, and automation. So automation of the repetitive tasks to, of course, streamline and be more productive. That's also part of the generative AI use cases. When you're thinking about the apps that we created and the ones that we're going to be showing, the one that is customer, financial, and item intelligence, we focused on the areas of the business where this information, this insights should be easy to get into, so that we can make faster decisions, even on the call or in preparation of the call with a customer, and so on and so forth. Yeah. So why would you use each of those apps? Financial intelligence to, of course, ensure the accurate financial planning, reducing manual errors, and gaining real-time AI insights. When it comes to customer intelligence, it's just to understand your customers better, prevent them churning from the business, so leaving the business, and optimizing sales efforts. Yeah, so focusing on the ones that generate more revenue, or trying to get the ones that are not generating enough to get them incentivized in various ways. And when it comes to item intelligence, we want to gain the product insights. Yeah, so how the different lodges or caravans or sites are selling, manage inventory effectively, and of course streamline product management. Who would use that? And I'm going to go through this very quickly. Since it's going to be recorded, you're going to be able to review these slides quickly. When, right? So financial planning, forecasting, during preparation of regular financial reports, event of the financial compliance checks, or before and after implementing major business changes. This app can be very useful, very helpful. When it comes to customer intelligence, we know that during or before marketing campaigns, we can review which customer groups we have, for example, and then try to incentivize in different various efforts with various efforts. And when you're launching new products or services, of course, this can be used as well, because we know that certain customers want to try out something new that is available on the parks, for example. Yeah. When it comes to inventory, in different areas of item management, before seasonal peaks, special marketing events, we know what's going on, what was going on in the previous season, and we want to see the impact on the inventory that we have, on the items that we have. Going through this, where also a lot of different industries were focusing here on the park and site management. We're going to go straight into this, and we'll have this done on the Elite Dynamics with some new advancements since the launch of the version 2. So I'll show you what it does. Yeah. So what essentially AI financial intelligence can do is to prepare any database, any Business Central database in the GL area, so in the financial area, to be able to nicely look at the most important parts or reports, statements that are coming from the system, that are usually analyzed in various manners. And I'm talking about the P&L and balance sheet, which can be generated automatically from the very beginning of the implementation process of the Business Central. So it shortens that time for preparation. We also have the version control for multiple financial P&L statements, balance sheets, and also the reports itself, which are being also stored inside of Business Central, so they can be really easily reviewed and compared. And that comparison element is very crucial, because when we compare one version, let's say 30th of May and we want to see this next day, and there are some new postings coming into the database, we want to compare this easily, effortlessly inside of Business Central. So that is another feature that we have just added to the solution. Of course, mapping of the GL accounts is also part of that. And then we're going to the most important stuff in AI, which is getting the AI-driven insights from those numbers. Yeah, so we can ask interactive Q&A. We can ask questions, and the AI will provide us answers. And I'll go into those details in a second. So this is how a standard P&L would look like, but depending on the data structure, and you're going to see it on a live demo in a minute, we'll have it done in minutes in Business Central, that will be connected to the actual chart of accounts that is visible in the Elite Parks the database. Here is a demonstration of how multi-language works. So we can generate it in any language that is supported in Business Central, and this is very useful for many reasons for the multinational companies that are using the solution now. When we look at the frequently asked questions, we have prepared some of them with financial advisors who would want to ask these kind of questions, or they would normally be asked at board meetings certain questions about the numbers. Yeah. So we have gathered that. And what kind of questions could be asked to financial intelligence? These are just samples, because since it's a free text question, we can ask whatever we want. And then these are just some examples of what is possible. So which expense categories have deviated from the budget? Why? What strategies can be implemented to improve margins in underperforming areas? Which product lines or services are the most profitable this quarter? What are the main factors affecting our net profit margin, and explain them. Uncover declines and increases over the last year, or alternatively show me things that doesn't look right. Or is there anything that should be, as a CEO should be concerned about the numbers? We can flag certain things in the description. These are some of the example answers that the financial intelligence will actually provide. So let's go straight into the demo. The only thing that we have created here is just the activation of this on Elite Dynamics company. We're in business manager role. So if I go to my settings, we can see this either in accountant or in because it can be changed as well. So we can have it in the accountant or business manager role. And what we see here is that when we go to the chart of accounts, and we go to related, we've got this new button, which is called financial intelligence. And when we go to the financial intelligence assistant, what we need to do first is to teach the algorithm how this, how this structure looks like. Yeah, we're going to start with a P&L statement. We've got balance sheet as well. I'll show you that in a second. So what happens right now in front of our eyes, that we don't have anything stored or pre-programmed or anything like that. It's the AI actually analyzing the structure of this specific environment, and it goes through the process of generating the structure of the P&L for us. So if we have, and of course we can now decide whether or not we want to do it in English or any other language. We can choose from any of the languages that are supported in Business Central. Just for the sake of us all knowing English, I'm going to choose this language. But I will show you also the examples of on this database, how it looks in Spanish, for example, or any other language. And we're going to try to ask the question and also generate the answers in different languages. So what he's doing now, it's the first step, which is the learning of how this database looks like, and for this to go over and create a P&L structure for us, as this will be a base for our further analysis. So here we have as you can see on this database, we've got some places for, of course, the caravan sales. They're also divided into used and not used and so on. We got the taxes, we've got the operating profit. All of those pieces have been defined for us. And what I can do now is, of course, I could update the template. So, for example, say, we'll consolidate general expenses and office and administrative, or office and administrative consolidated with professional expenses, if I want to do that for any reason. And I could do that as well with free text, which is also kind of cool. So these versions can be applied. Of course, they can be modified by hand. I can also create indentations quickly in that structure. And then when I save it, this is going to be my P&L demo Elite 1, 2, 3. Of course, I need to recognize this in certain manner. And then we're going to go to the mapping management. So the next thing that happens is we need to create for this P&L structure a mapping experience, right? So not something that would normally have to be done by the accountants manually, and it's a tedious exercise especially when you have multiple of those chart of accounts, and you have to do it and modify it or attach it to your structure, then to your report, wherever it is, whether it's in Excel or something else. You need to copy paste certain things or generate it in a different way, but it also is a tedious process. So it's this automation of the creation of that, but it serves us for other purposes as well, and we're going to see that in a second. This mapping management usually happens once or twice, whatever we decide that there is a new chart of accounts or new GL account that is added to the system in the accounting area, right? I'm going through the whole process because that is exactly how fast we're going to get to the reports straight from the very beginning. So I'm actually talking through the process, but if I did it just one step at a time, it would probably consolidate it to about roughly 5 minutes to the actual structures being ready for us. And then once we have that, the mapping is created. We have now the possibility, of course, to save it as mapping 1. And we're ready. So we're ready for the report generations, and we're ready for the insights coming from those data, right? So I can go to this already generated P&L that we just created seconds ago, and I'm going to go to the 30th of 5, 2024 as the date, and I'm going to just hit generate report. And in just seconds, we have our P&L ready with all the drill downs, with all the capabilities of drill downs on any of those levels. So I can go to the net income. I can see the transactions. How do they look like? I can do it on any view, on any cell that we have here. I can, of course, export it to Excel. I can export this report to Excel with the options of opening or saving the report. I can save it over here inside of Business Central. And I can then, for example, generate a new one for the 12th of June, 2024. Of course, the numbers will change. We can see that. Now I can save it. And when I'm restoring the report, I can actually look at the comparisons. So I can restore this. We can see that it's a restored report. And then I can actually compare the versions of the report. So imagine that you had something posted and then you had something posted just the day ahead. Now, what it allows us to do is this restored version here is going to only show us the differences between what was posted these 2 days ago. So we don't have to do any like copying, pasting, and doing that. But what do we have with that functionality? So we can evaluate the report, of course, not on the restored report, because we don't want to have the we don't want to have the restored data on the real values, on the real values that are coming from the database as and when. We can fire up an evaluation of this report, and of course it's a lot of demo data. We're going to see some funny results in terms of the insights that are coming from this report. But if we are plugging this into a real database, it's going to actually provide us with a lot of really genuine insights that we can then turn into actions. That's the whole idea of that, shortening this cycle of generating insights and then doing something with it, right? So what we can see is that this, there are some financial reports as of 30th of May. We have created this report, and now we are seeing some key financial indicators. So we can see that the company has experienced substantial increase in revenue. In the current month, making some 2,600% of increase. We can see some gross profit information. We can see some revenue concentration. So there is a reliance on side fees in revenue generation. And diversifying income sources could mitigate risks to ensure stability. Of course, this is a general thing that's trying to get broad on our revenue income streams is a wise decision in every company situation. Not always this is the case, and not always this is possible. So, and there are some recommendations, as we can see. On that. If we want to ask specific questions, we've got this frequently asked questions management portion where we have loaded some standard questions that are being asked, and we can ask the standard question by just choosing one, and we can look at some of those questions and choose the one. Yeah, we can compare the budgets to actual if we have, do we have any financial strategy that could be, or should we adjust something considering this current P&L structure? And we can click OK, and it's going to ask and combine the answers for us in this generative experience. We also have those stored as a history. So every question and every answer is only available to the user that is logged in, and he's got those insights made available. And then we can share it in various forms with the management or whoever needs this information. And of course, from the top level management, these questions, when they're being asked, they can drive, those insights can drive into further reports, further information drilling to make this insight checked and with a viable response from the user. So that is part of the financial intelligence. There's also balance sheet evaluation. There's ability to add any dimensions, comparisons by reports on various dimensions and things like that. So parks can be a dimension, as we know, a dimension value. All of that can be done in splits of seconds. As you have seen, the generation of report is something that takes just a minute. Now what happens is the inference, the inference on the data. And of course, this is being stored. Yeah. So we've got some underutilized revenue streams. We've got some profitability enhancement, diversification, tax planning. So it's giving us recommendation to the question about, there's some adjustment that can be made to enhance the performance and resilience of the company. Here's the detailed analysis based on provided data. And of course, these questions can be asked over and over again. Now, what I will also want to demonstrate is that we can do any version of it, such as, for example, Italian or any language. And when we switch to a different language, the Business Central will start responding in a different language as well. We've got a lot of really great layouts, such as, for example, 12 months trailing. That can be chose from. Some questions that we ask will change the layout of the report as well. So they will just say, well, okay, so let's evaluate that in a certain way. As we know, 12 months trailing is giving us quite a lot of interesting pieces on the on evaluation of the company's performance. And we also can do the evaluation of the report and also ask about this trailing evaluation as well. So this is just part of the solution. I won't be able to show everything here, but these are the main elements on this site. When it comes to the next part, which is I believe it's the customer intelligence. Customer intelligence is quite a neat thing as well, because it aggregates a lot of the insights about our customers without having to analyze a lot of the data. It also allows us to talk with the new functionality from Microsoft, which is Copilot. So it expands on the multiple things such as customer lifetime value, so how much money the customer has given us in their lifetime. It helps us evaluate a lot of those KPIs that are really important for the business, and it also gives us the AI insights, gives us the churn probability chart, and it provides us with the Power BI dashboards, which can be embedded in the solution in the executive version. So here's the overview of how the customer intelligence can look like. It provides us with those charts. We can go drill down into those customers that will be refreshed for us every week or every month, however we want this algorithm to run. And then we are also calculating a lot of really cool KPIs, but this one is something that I want to really emphasize. So if you're not doing it yet, or you're doing it in a certain form, now we have this as well in the customer intelligence solution. So it actually shows us how profitably we're doing on the specific customer relation. So each customer is valued on how much revenue he's bringing to us over time, and we can see, and then we can focus on that, and it actually allows us to estimate how much of this customer value, which is a number of pounds that can be brought in over time. It actually allows us to monitor this and to see and predict in a certain way what is the expected customer lifetime value for the next time period, which can be a month or a week again, or so on. It can help us find issues so that we can boost customer loyalty and retention. Of course, that we can target our ideal customers with that. We can reduce, of course, customer acquisition costs and expand on the revenue that is being brought by the current ones. Of course, it simplifies the financial planning. It should be actually part of the P&L, in my opinion. In opinion, many of the PhDs in this area, that this should be looked at. It's not about the amount of leads that are coming in. It's actually about the customer lifetime value. That's why we brought it into customer intelligence. Okay, so here is an overview of what type of views are there. We have also compiled it into customer insights, so we can, in a click of a button, have the story to be told about the specific customer that we are dealing with, right? And here is the last feature that I was showing at the lead dynamics section, but you can see the new functionality, which is called company information, customer information. And that is another level which grabs a lot of information into our database so that we can view the sites. I just picked up Verdant Leisure here, and I also picked up Ho Seasons Limited, because I know that that we had them as well at the event, and we can see a lot of insights that are coming from various places. Now, with the click of a button, we can view that on it. It only works on customers, on companies, not on people. People would give quite bad results. So we have not turned it on. So let me go into this section. How do we run this? So in order to get to the groups, and notice that here are 9 groups. If I switch to another database, there would be 7 groups, 5 groups, and they would be differently named. I can go to, for example, newest high spenders. So they're new to our business. These customers are new to our business. Andrew Blackie apparently included. But they're reasonably great on the profitability for the business. So we can see that the rating that has been given to those customers, they're spending high in comparison to the others in our business, in our customer base. Yeah. And it happens automatically, by the way. Yeah, we can of course see the total expenses. We can see what's the monitored customer lifetime value for this group. We can see the data of the classifications. I ran this yesterday. I can run it in front of your eyes as well. It doesn't matter. But the whole idea is to monitor this whole thing weekly or monthly, so that we can see how it's going, how the customers are moving, how they're evolving, and all of that is being monitored in many places. So what kind of other groups he's actually looked at? He's got some one-time buyers. He's got some not active customers. There is a group of, let's say, best customers, but not based on this database. So we know that the best customers, that there are things that could improve to get them into this high spending, very often spending group as well. We've got some most loyal high spenders, so they're long with the business with us, and we just have one. Yeah, it's probably some sort of sale of maybe of a caravan over here. Yeah, and what's the expected customer lifetime for the next time period? Now, if I go to my customer data, of course, we've got this churn probability chart. So I want to focus on the ones that are high on this radar. I want to contact them, maybe fire some promotion, but I know at least what kind of group that is, and if this amount is this number of those customers is growing, we know that we should be looking into that promptly. Yeah. So what I'm going to show here is, of course, we've got the Power BI element that is loading up here, which is going to show us based on every particular customer that we click on. We can go and view some, some categories that were sold, what we were doing there. We can see the customer intelligence, and we can see the groups that they have been appointed to. There are some blank groups when they're not active. We can see some KPIs moving, and we also have the ability to see what is the latest date and go back in time. If I go to a particular customer, all of those pieces that I showed on the customer intelligence side are going to be reflected over here, right? So what's the churn probability of this? Probability of being alive, very high. Their most loyal customer, not great on the profit, and so on and so forth. But what if I want to hear this out from, or not hear this out, it doesn't speak yet. What if I want to read about it and give it some context, give it some natural context, so that everyone in our sales team knows what we're talking about in terms of all of those KPIs that are happening, and how to make sense of it all. And also combine it with some additional information, such as, for example, payments, right? So do we have the prompt payments? Do we need to improve on that? How is this relation with the customer going? And this will be generated. It's also going to be stored historically, but we can refresh it at any point in time. So this is another segment that is happening over here. Let it finish, and here we have okay, so this is not that one that I wanted to show, because it's on the company information, so it's not this. What I want to do is run it over here. So this is customer insights. So the customer insights will generate a summary of our ongoing cooperation with the customer, based on all of those KPIs, based on all of the logic that we put into this to explain our customer relation better. Okay, here we have it. So We've got some concerning trend in high incidence of late payments, with 7 out of 12 invoices paid late, averaging 700 to 107 days late. Of course, it's not a live database, so we know that this is coming from something that is just moving from let's say from a demo to a demo. There are 5 unpaid invoices contributing to a customer balance of 6,300. The pattern only affects cash flow, indicates potential issues in our payment collection process, and so on. So explanation of how it impacts us, our business. The customer has placed a total of 17 item orders with an average order value significantly higher median of, and discrepancy suggests a few high value purchases skewing the average, which is confirming by the largest item order of 5,500. Yeah, this indicates that while the customer does not engage in the significant transactions, their purchasing behavior is sporadic. Tailoring our sales approach to encourage more consistent engagement could be beneficial. So insight and also some sort of recommendation of the action. Yeah. When it comes to the sales performance and seasonality, we can see that there are weekdays such as Monday and Thursday, most lucrative days, suggesting targeting those days promotions, special offers, maximize revenue. Additionally, highlights that July and August as peak seasons, which could be leveraged to target marketing campaigns and boost during these periods. Customer loyalty and engagement. We've got the explanation of modest spenders, rare buyers. The duration is 1,200 days. Loyalty combined with low churn probability presents the opportunity to increase engagement and spending. Product performance, we can see that there's a site fee plot FT28, it's a top selling item for this customer. And so on and so forth. Of course, it's a cause and effect, right? We know that we're looking at a demo database, but some really cool insights could be coming from that in other areas. Customer rating and CLV places in the middle tier, indicating room for improvement and satisfaction levels, and sales growth and conclusion. Yeah, so we've got some insights coming from various aspects of this customer intelligence solution. And last but not least, on that side, because we all, of course, we've got the ability to analyze it. Now we have this pivot table. We have all of our KPIs coming over here. So if I want to take a look at this view, and do I have my, yes, I have my expected CLV. I do have my numbers. I can nicely look at our business in the expected CLV period. We know that these are the customers where we should be focusing most. We also have this priority, and the priority means that based on all of those KPIs collected together and put into that, we can rate our customer by priority. And if I go and move that over here, we can see that that in combination we can make decisions on where to go first. In terms of the 0 means not active, so we can also filter the not active with the filter button here, and of course take the not active out. Yeah, as we can see, not active. And then if you turn on the Copilot on this, we're going to be able to ask the real-time real-time questions on that functionality as well. Yeah, and filter this out. So going back to our database in real time, we can actually go into any business, such as I showed you before. And for example, we have this customer. Let's say it's a business and something that we kind of everyone would know about in that section. And if we run the company information, it's going to give us all of the, let's say, most accurate or most up-to-date insights about the company from various sources. So we don't have to collate it from going through, a lot of searches, a lot of sources of information. If you have any specific sources of information that you would like to go and plug into it, this can be also done with our team as part of the improvement and customization. But we are looking at the overall, and then we're bringing us the most relevant insights about this company, and we can see some of the information over here. Same for any other business that we want to put it into. And then last but not least, I told you about how interesting it is when you start comparing. So we've got this compare hub inside. And if we had, more classifications, we would see which customers are moving from one group to another. And that would tell us a lot about, are we moving the customers from the best customers? Are we losing them from that best customers area? Because they're not buying as much as they did before. And then we in the Power BI section, we actually have a lot of the Power BIs. These are some on the accountant stuff. If I change it to the business manager, then this would have some Power BIs that are related to customer intelligence and item intelligence as well. We've got the whole range of dashboards that are explaining a little bit how and where do we have our customers in each segment, right? So it automatically creates those groups inside of the dashboard, and they are reflected on the dashboard itself. If we have multiple segmentations. So let's say that this is a live database and we can see this coming every month. There will be new slice of data. And we also have something that we can see how many of those customers are migrating to another group. And then we can see if we're losing them and it's constantly decreasing number of customers, or is it still, or are we able with our actions to move them across the board and to generate more revenue with our actions, right? So the planned ones as well. We also have the near churn area, and we can filter the ones that that are closer to churning. We can see a very high area, and we can see which ones we should be addressing and which ones are most important from the revenue perspective as well, not to lose them, right? And of course, we can turn it into football and so on. So this is another element that we added as a extension to the customer intelligence piece. These dashboards, of course, are enabled for modification. So I'm going to go into the last segment, which is maybe less interesting for some, because it's actually looking at items. So the items that are on their selling. So a lot of aspects are being covered here. We have the same idea for analysis of the items. So which ones are moving faster, which ones are not selling. So you can think about it as sites, about certain plots, about certain caravans, models, makes, and so on and so forth. So this could be used for that type. So what you can see here is a sample where the algorithm has actually identified 7 items or plots or whatever else that are, we give it a standard name of clear it out. But to be honest, it's something that is slow seller. Everything that is good, we got some obsolete ones. We've got the one that we can keep up, and some that are best sellers. Yeah. And we can, of course, view those numbers and also generate insights on those items. Yeah. So very quickly going through that. All right. And then we have this item intelligence that just ran on this one. As you can see that we've got just one rising star. Now we've got some non-sales stock of 119. Now we can go into this and we can see which ones are being used. And inside we can see the current stock, of course, how many of them we have. And of course we can see that there's nothing happening with those items. So when we have something like a rising star, which is a model of a Willoughby Clearwater, we can then go and, of course, see the stock, when was first sold, last sales, and so on. But if I want a generic idea of what's happening with this item, I can click on yes, and it's going to generate and tell us the story about this item in this database, what was happening, and he's going to try to give us the rationale behind certain things around those items. And imagine that you could do that now with pretty much like anything as a site, caravan model, whatever else, right? This could be done with that as well. So we can see some sales history, got some 14 customers, 14 orders on this product, revenue made on this one, the quantity sold, of course, the cost of goods sold for that. We've got some, item performance. We can see the February indicating decline in demand on the product. In January, there were 3 sales of sales amount indicating relatively good performance. March, January as well. So we can see some description on how these things are. And we can see that there is a seasonality pattern detected in the sales data, higher sales during certain months, lower during others. Sales tends to be higher in the first quarter of the year, with January and March being the months with the highest sales, and so on. Based on this history, focusing on on the first quarter of the year. So again, insights and some indications of potential increases in revenue, and trying to find some seasonality patterns and things like that, and then trying to act on that, right? So here, this is what we have in this area. Of course, there is a Power BI dashboard that also, with the larger amounts of items that are actually moving, something's happening with them. There's much more to be shown than on this demo database, and a lot of our customers are actually looking at what's happening with these items, and there's so much to be shown when the demo database is filled in with some more more data in this aspect. Yeah. So this is a general overview of the 3 apps, and I'll turn it back to Callum. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Camille. That was great. I think that's really exciting solution there that we have, and I think it's worth saying as well that we actually use this solution in our own internal systems. Our head of finance loves it. It's used across the business. It gives us the insights that we need for the customers that we've got there on that one. So we are going to finish off for just now. Thank you very much, Camille and the team, for joining us today. We will see you all again next time. Thank you.
Thank you. All the best.